So why do you hate your baby?
The reason that I texted that is because it's been really hard for me to bond with him.
Why do you... by the way, I just want to say this. A few people in the chat said, how could this man hate a baby? And I think those people are idiots that have never met babies before.
No way.
What's up, dude? What's your name?
You gotta be kidding me.
How's it going?
It's good. I'm Salmon.
Your name is Salmon?
Not really. That's my gamer name, I guess.
Okay. What games do you play as? In what arenas are you known as Salmon?
Oh man, I game so much. Play Destiny. Ooh, I'm so nervous right now. Play World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, a whole bunch of MMOs, stuff like that.
What level are you in World of Warcraft?
Oh, just max level. All over the place. Here, hold on. I'm going to a different room where there's... Dave, I'm on the phone with the therapy Gecko.
So, Salmon.
Yes.
It says here that you are a real licensed therapist and that you hate your 18-month-old baby.
Yes. So, yeah, I'm a real therapist. My state. I got my degree last May, and yeah, got my license, and I've been seeing clients. I've worked in the field for a long time, like 10 years, mental health and addiction and trauma and stuff. But I love it, man. Being a therapist is super fun.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Does anyone ever get better?
Hell fucking yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Dude, totally.
Give it. Can I hear an example?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just start with me. So I got sober when I was 16, so I got into recovery when I was 16. And super gnarly depression, like suicidal, really gnarly anxiety, childhood trauma, addiction, family addiction, stuff like that. So, I mean, when I got into recovery, I hit it pretty hard as far as going to meetings, being in 12-step recovery, but also going to therapy. I started going to therapy when I was probably 18 or 19, because I was in recovery and I was meditating a lot and exercising, kind of doing all the wellness stuff to combat depression and anxiety, but nothing was really working. Nothing I was doing on my own with my own willpower was working. And I was like, fuck it, dude, I need to go to therapy. And I found this therapist that was super badass. It kind of worked out to where I was able to afford it because he had a sliding scale. He was just really good trauma therapist. And we did trauma therapy, and dude, it helped a lot.
How old are you now?
27.
27. So, I mean, you ever... All right, and I don't want to discount your story, because you have a good story. But I'm talking I feel like at 16, 18, it's very, everyone... No, maybe not everyone, but, it's very easy to... Nah, it's easy, but... changing your life at 16, 18 is one thing. Do you ever get like a broken 35-year-old man who turns it around?
Dude, totally.
Tell me about that.
So, granted, I've been an individual therapist for less than a year. So, clients that I've worked with, I haven't been working with for more than a year. But for example, I've got a client, won't give too much detail, but really intense sexual trauma, and a lot of complex trauma from childhood up into adulthood. And in a relatively short period of time so I do EMDR, which is a type of trauma therapy. she's made progress, and it's, it is a slow game, but ultimately, like, the little gains are pretty awesome. Like, moments of hope, moments of shifts of perspective, where, like, a client will be able to move in and out of that hopelessness way more, with way more flexibility. And that shit's awesome, man. Just ride that out.
So why do you hate your baby?
If my wife listens to this, just for the record, I don't hate my baby anymore.
I have a proof. You texted me.
I know.
I'm gonna read it. You said.
Okay.
You said. You texted me like 7 things. Hold on. You said.
I'm sorry.
I accidentally. No. Don't be sorry. This is not something you need to apologize for. You said I had an exorcism while on vacation in Mexico. We might get to that. But you said I hate my 18-month-old baby. Why do you? By the way, I just want to say this. A few people in the chat said, "How could this man hate a baby?" And I think those people are idiots that have never met babies before, because babies, they're not cool guys, But you might have a different reason. So you go ahead. You tell me what's up.
Yeah. Oh man, this is so hard. My wife and I. So my wife's a little bit older than me, and she became ready to have a baby a little bit kind of before I was. Like, she already had her degree, she already had her career, and it's kind of just like, all right, let's do this. And I was super resistant, super fearful about it, and yeah, just like kind of self-centered. But basically, like, everyone in my life that I trusted and looked up to was like, dude, you just gotta send it. Like, it'll be worth it. Don't live from this place of self-centeredness. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, I love her so much. So it's not worth, like, people get divorced over that shit. Like, that's just like, no way. Like, I love Patricia so much, and I have had this, like, courage or like faith that it would work out and it would be okay. And I kind of thought, like, sure, I don't really love babies in general, but I bet whenever I have my own kid, it'll like override that. Because people are like, oh my God, it's like, there's, like, people are, it's like, the kid is born and I've never felt so much love immediately. I was like, fuck it. Like, it'll probably be like that.
Right.
Dude, no. Like, it was wild. Like, we didn't do the whole, like, find out the sex of the baby. So, like, in my mind, it was, they were going to be a blonde-haired girl, just because, like, I don't know. That was just the vibe. Mm-hmm. And he's a redheaded boy. And I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It was so scary, dude. And the actual process was terrifying.
What was the actual process?
Like, the birth was super complicated. It was scary, like, health-wise. And my wife was, like, I don't know, had some difficulties, had some, like, preeclampsia, which is scary, like blood pressure shit, and it was an emergency C-section, and like I was just like watching her in the operating room, like, and I'm just like, she's gonna die, and I could like see her blood going into a fucking vacuum thing, and I was so scared. Like, I was like, she's gonna fucking die. I felt like I was gonna pass out. And, like, the surgeons are just, like, they're just, like, at work. They're just, like, they could be working at Starbucks making a fucking coffee. Like, they're just, like, talking about shit. I'm like, dude, I'm about to pass out. And so it was super scary. And, like, we were in the hospital for eight days just because there was a lot of medical issues. And we both felt similarly. Like we were just like felt disconnected from this baby, and it did not. We didn't have that like rush of endorphins that people get sometimes, and it was really hard, dude. Like, so when we were in the hospital, that was the day that my master's program started. So I started grad school like in the hospital. My first classes I took like in the hospital. So it was so stressful. And yeah, it was just really hard. So the reason that I texted that is because, I mean, it's an exaggeration, but it's been really hard for me to bond with him, because of my own just like avoidance, my own fear, a lot of like resistance to joy. I think like that part of me that is still depressed, I still have that, like, you know, that depressed part that comes up. It's like, you know, it's just part of my experience. I think that part of me is like, don't love that baby. You don't want to love that baby. You know, like, it's just like that resistance to joy and love. So that's just what I've been working with the past year and a half, is like just practicing letting go of the idea that I want my life, you know, I want to be able to do whatever I want, that type of thing. And I don't know, embracing it. And honestly, like, I feel like I texted you like 1,000 times once I realized that I could try to actually talk to you. And genuinely, in the past 2 months, it's gotten like way better. I don't know if it's like a shift within me. Oh, dude. And I've been doing a lot of therapy about it. So there's another example of how it's helped. Like, I've been able to feel less hopeless, feel a lot more hope, and really like notice those moments of joy with him, or he's doing something funny, or I allow myself to like laugh, and it's like we're connected. Last Saturday was actually, or not last Saturday, like maybe 4 Saturdays ago was one of the first days where we were together all day, and I just vibed. Like, we just hung out, we connected. I didn't feel super self-centered. Like, I didn't have all these like, I want to do whatever I want thoughts. It was just like, all right, I'm over with this baby. Like, this is the grind, and it's like a practice. Oh, fuck, dude. Yesterday we were at the park, and it was fun. He and I just walked around, we went on a little hike. He's 20 months now. And I'm really making an effort to bond more with him. I have this like, kind of like fire under my ass of like, oh shit, like, I want him to like me. Like, I need to be there for him. He needs me. I can't just have this like resistance, this aversion to loving him. Oh, dude, it's been so hard. But
so you say it's been it's gotten better in the past 2 months.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better.
How has it gotten better? In what ways has it gotten better, and how did you achieve those ways?
So I think I did a lot of, this is a good example. So the birth was super traumatic for me. I was very afraid, and I just was in this like hypervigilant state, and then went immediately into being in grad school and full-time stay-at-home dad. So I never had a chance to really like process the trauma of the birth. And so I did end up going back to therapy. So like about probably like 5 months ago, I started going to a perinatal therapist who does like trauma work for like births and shit. And I think that really, really helped. So like I didn't have the like the physical reaction of the PTSD from the birth whenever I thought about it, like the overwhelm. Like I was able to like let that go and process it. So it was more, now I'm more present. I'm more able to be present with like the truth of what's happening just in the present moment. So what it looks like is just me being able to experience both joy and like extreme discomfort very fluidly and flexibly throughout the day. It's like one moment he's super happy, I'm super happy, and we're hanging out. Next moment he's fucking freaking out because he wants oatmeal, and we have to go, and I get super overstimulated. But it's like, okay, I can hold both of those things now. Like, it's okay. It's okay for me to have to feel this unpleasantness because I know that it's worth it. But that's huge for me. Like, being able to think, like, it's worth it because I know we're going to connect later, and that'll be special.
Have you always felt a sort of, like, I guess, aversion to happiness?
Oh, yeah, dude. I don't know what is up. Dude, I gotta fucking... Dude, oh my god. Yeah. You should see the fucking drawings that I drew as a kid. Like, as a little kid. I drew the most, like, demented, fucking creepy drawings as a little kid. And yeah, like, I had my first, like, real suicidal thoughts in 6th grade. Like, there was just this part of me that hated life. I was just really overwhelmed, afraid of feeling joy, like, you know, just in that space. So that's kind of always been there.
Mm. And so this is a process of you, like, accepting that you should be able to feel happiness. And not only that, but you're also, it's not just for you. You know, of course it's not just for you. It's for the well-being of you know, another person that you're in charge of as well.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah.
So, has your ability to start... So you say in the past 2 months it's gotten better. So has your ability to start feeling joy interacting with your child leaked out to your ability? Like, has it increased your ability to start feeling joy in other realms of your life as well?
Yeah, I think not necessarily because, man, today I can feel some joy. I can feel some joy about stuff. Like,
good.
And I think, yeah, man, like, I love life now. Even though there's always going to be that darkness, like, I don't become that darkness anymore. I just am able to be with it. I'm like, you can come along for the ride. But that's why, so the whole, not being able to feel joy with him has been so disturbing. Because I feel like I've historically been able to, overcome challenges, like mental health challenges and shit like that. This has been a real doozy.
Mm.
And it's probably going to be a doozy for the next, ideally, I don't know, however many years I'll be alive. But I'll probably, hopefully be a parent for that amount of time.
So you've accepted that. So this is an interesting thing, and I'll get into it. But you've accepted that this is going to be a doozy for the rest of the time that you are alive.
Yeah, dude, that's a hard thing to accept.
That's a hard thing to accept because I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm pretty much your age, and
yeah.
You know, I often really do feel like I'm depressed and anxious all the time and carrying a rock. And I saw this comment on Reddit. I might have talked about this on the podcast already. I've just been talking about it to my friends. I saw this comment on Reddit that said something like, people think that when they turn 30, there's going to be this crazy magical thing, or they're going to explode, or they're going to feel different. And the truth is, it just keeps going. And I read that and I was like, oh no, I find such great solace every day in imagining a fucking version of the future where I'm not as anxious and I'm all these problems are kind of gone. And what if it just never happens? And what if I'm just dealing with shit? This is why I'm afraid of getting older, because I'm like, oh, what if I'm just dealing with shit forever? You know, I talk to people on the podcast and I read on Reddit and all this stuff of like people in their like, you know, 30s and 40s and 50s who are going through these problems, and I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, God damn, man, that sounds exhausting. Just problems like forever, you know? Do you ever feel that way? I'm like, oh my God, how are you not tired?
Yeah. I have felt that way. I don't feel that way very much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I get it though. Like I truly relate to that. And I hear it a lot. Actually, one of my friends is go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, one of my friends is like hella suicidal right now. And similarly, like just feels like this is gonna be this way forever. And I don't know. I mean, I think you have a lot of that self-awareness of like noticing whenever your mind is going to the like, well, maybe one day I won't feel this way. But it's like that's a good indicator of looking at, okay, what's happening right now, and you know, in this moment that is leading to this sense of dissatisfaction. Like, is it that longing that is causing this dissatisfaction? Is it a physical thing? Do I need to eat? Is it a lack of connection? Do I need to be with a friend? Am I burnt out? Do I need to change what I'm doing? It's like all comes to what is happening in the present moment that needs tending to. Like, how can I be kind to myself or be kind to another person as a response? Because, like, yeah, dude, we're never, like, the future, I mean, I don't know, maybe in, like, a fucking quantum physics sense it exists, but right now it's like it doesn't exist. And usually whenever we're thinking about the future, maybe this is obvious, but there's something happening right now that we don't like, or we're afraid of, or we're like, you know, holding on to, but it's already going away. And the good news is it's like we can just let go. And the practice and like, you know, what can become kind of fun is like figuring out how can I let go right now in a way that will give me some freedom. But it's not easy. It's not easy.
Well, is there anything fun going on with you?
Hell yeah, dude. Fucking
Tell me, let's talk about that before we go. Let's talk about some fun stuff. I mean, no, this was fun. This was good. This was good. This was good. I mean, I'm glad to hear that it sounds from the way you're talking to me that these struggles are on a positive upward trajectory towards being dealt with and handled, you know, by you in a way that makes your life better. I'm happy to hear that. How does your wife feel about all this stuff? You talk to her about all this?
Yeah, I definitely do. She knows the struggle. And she's supportive, man. Like, she's just patient and wonderful. And she knows me and is really patient with me. But I've definitely tried to not let it leak out too much, because it's like, sucks for her to be with somebody that's like, this is so hard all the time, you know?
Right, yeah. That's the thing. That's when you're dealing with a partner, is you gotta, like, you want somebody who you can lean on emotionally, but also you gotta, you know, kind of step it the fuck up so that she's not dealing with that all the time.
Right. Yeah.
Tell me about those fun things.
Man, it's warm now, so I feel just more hopeful in general. It's fun to be outside. I love doing Muay Thai. Like, I love boxing, MMA, shit like that. So I've been doing that a ton.
Yo, hell yeah.
That's been fun.
Should I get into that? Do you recommend that?
Oh, dude, it's the best. Muay Thai especially, because it's like, it's the perfect mix of like, there's a lot of humility to it, as it's very like, I don't know. There's not a lot of like macho bros in there. Like,
can you get fucked up doing it? I want to do it. I want to do more like physical hobbies that'll get me in better shape, but I just don't want to get like my nose broken.
No, dude, that's the great thing about Muay Thai is like, okay, so I've gone to boxing gyms, I've gone to MMA gyms where you just get the absolute shit beaten out of you,
right?
And it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. Right.
you don't. It's not that. It's not like that. Like you can go to beginner classes and just learn the techniques and do it. But you're just doing it with a partner who's holding the pads. Like you're not hitting each other in the face, and the sparring is super light. It's like, I spar every week and I don't get injured. Like I'll have bruises and shit, but I never leave being like, yeah, I have a concussion or I just broke my nose. It's very light.
Mm-hmm. All right, I might do that. All right, you're doing Muay Thai. What else is going on? What if I get into Muay Thai and I just go ultra fucking Joe Rogan mode and like I'm only talking about martial arts on the podcast forever now?
I would be supportive of you.
Okay, you're doing martial arts. Anything else fun going on?
Definitely being able to spend time with my wife, just hang out with her. Work is fun. Work is exciting. Bicycling, going cycling, playing video games. Fucking love playing video games.
Yeah, me too. Video games have been such a great solace, especially like if you have anxiety, because video games have they're very clearly defined.
Right.
They have clear life is the opposite of a video game. There's no clear objectives, So video games are great for kind of like, let's exist in a universe where everything makes sense for a second.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and it's actually interesting, like, so I'm a huge believer in, like the power of gaming and community. And I've been trying to start this group therapy thing for gamers, like, probably people like you and me that have been gaming for a long time. And like, I don't know, a lot of my best friends are people that I just hang out with on Discord. So I've been trying to get it going, but it's been hard to find people. I don't know. It's just hard to get a group going. But if anybody lives in Tennessee and wants to do group therapy for gamers, I'm your guy.
Healthy Gamer GG, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's the GOAT.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's cool. I like a lot of this stuff.
Salmon, you said your name was?
Yeah.
Salmon, this was a good talk, man. You're a respectable guy. It's funny talking to a guy like you who's pretty much my age because I don't know, I feel like I'm 16 and I'm talking to you and you're like a real adult. I'm inspired by your adultness. I'm going to try to incorporate some of that into my life as well.
Well, I appreciate it. And can I say something to you?
Yeah, of course.
Dude, you would be an excellent therapist. And it's not that hard. I've heard you say, like, we have to go to school for a million years. It's not that hard.
I sincerely, I appreciate you saying that. I have to tell you something.
Okay.
I would never, ever, 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 ever in a million years become a real therapist. I have no desire to ever do that. I have no desire to ever do that. I like playing pretend therapist on the internet is fun. I like it. I have no desire to. I am never going back to school ever again in my entire life for anything. I have nightmares, dude, where like I'll like be dreaming that I forgot to do my fucking homework, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I never have to do anything ever again. I've thought, no, I still wouldn't even do. Like in my head, I'm like, what if I became a life coach? And I'm like, that's terrible. It's so funny because I'm sitting around in my, I'm asleep. I'm like laying in bed on a sheetless mattress with fucking Doritos all over my floor, and I'm like, I should be a life coach. No, I'm never gonna do either of those two things. But I appreciate you saying that. I do, and I'm glad that you're a real therapist, and you sound like a very smart guy, and I'm glad that you're doing it because it's hard, man. It sounds hard. It would be too serious, Like I can do whatever I want on this little podcast, and I don't, I think having like a whole serious thing and being a. Although actually, I'll say this. I would become a real therapist because it would be really funny. Like to post a picture and it's like the therapy gecko became a real therapist. That would be very like I would do it as a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, life is a bit.
Life kind of is a bit. But thanks for the kind words, Salmon. Good luck to you. Good luck to your family. Is there anything else that you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
You should go get an exorcism in Mexico.
Oh yeah. Do you have a 30-second long version of that story?
Yeah.
All right, I'm counting.
Okay. I went to Mexico on a meditation retreat. I went to this shaman off the beaten path that was not a part of the retreat. Did not expect this, but had a full-on exorcism. And like the real everything, like everything you would think. And afterwards, I was able to admit that I want to live and I want to be happy. And since then, I haven't been suicidal. So whatever was in me that wanted me to die, was so afraid of life that wanted me to die, it's out of me.
That's sick.
Chill.
Where'd you get this? Where in Mexico is this?
Teotihuacan. I'm really sorry for anyone that knows how to fucking not be an idiot American that doesn't speak Spanish.
Teotihuacan?
Yeah.
Is that near Mexico City?
Close. Yeah, it was like a couple hour drive.
Interesting. What, did you take any drugs or you like, said some stuff?
Free balling it. No drugs. I haven't touched a drug. I don't have any like delusions, paranoid delusions, anything like that. Like it was just I don't know, man. It was weird. Did not expect it. And like I was with, some friends and they could hear me like screaming. Yeah. And like they heard it all. It was crazy.
Yo. Did you would you recommend other people do it?
I would recommend I don't know, dude. I don't know.
I kind of want to try this now. I'm down. I'm at a point right now where I'm like, let's try some shit. Actually, I'm full of shit. I am still scared to do stuff, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll do an exorcism. That sounds cool. Well, we're all just looking for answers somewhere.
It fell into my lap. If it falls into your lap, go for it. But I don't know if you should go seek that experience. It was scary.
Thanks for calling, Salmon, and I'll see you. I'll see you in the afterlife, maybe.
That sounds good, man. We'll chill. Thank you. You do good stuff.
Thanks, man. I'm trying. You too. Take care, brother.
Bye-bye.
An exorcism in Mexico. That is. I'm looking for a shortcut, right? Because I was saying to Salmon, I'm like, when am I going to be able to just like, how do I take all this anxiety and just like live like a normal person, And sometimes I hear stuff like that and I'm like, should I go to a fucking shaman in Mexico and get an exorcism? And it turns out what I really need to do is like, like stop smoking weed, right? Like you could, like everything that you think you're gonna get from getting an exorcism from a shaman in Mexico, you could probably just do in your house. But no, I'm fine. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. What do I know? I don't know shit about anything. Maybe I need to go to the shaman. Maybe I need to clean my room. Maybe both. Why not both? Why not clean your room then go to the shaman? Life's crazy. Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
This is Jimmy.
How can I get you today, Jimmy? What's going on? What would you like to talk about?
So I was hoping that I could get a little bit of advice, maybe on a situation that I was in.
Tell me.
So I went, there's this very nice person who I've been talking to, beautiful human being and everything like that. And I was hoping that I could maybe get a little bit of guidance as to where I should take my next step and where I should go next.
Well, go ahead.
So we've been chatting. Very, very friendly human being and everything like that. And we had a nice little interaction at the Rainforest Cafe, where we had a nice little photo opportunity in front of the endangered frogs exhibit that they have there. It was very nice. I got to watch the animatronic monkeys waving at me. It made me very happy.
Wait, so Jimmy, give me the full scope here,
Yeah.
What? So you met a woman at the Rainforest Cafe?
Well, I had known her beforehand, and
Okay.
we ended up meeting at the Rainforest Cafe.
All right? You ended up meeting at the Rainforest Cafe. Does that mean you asked her on a date to the Rainforest Cafe, or you went to the Rainforest Cafe alone? You saw her at the Rainforest Cafe alone, and then you guys met?
No, this was a planned interaction.
Okay.
I don't know if I would necessarily say that it was a date, though. I would say it was more of a planned interaction, if you're understanding.
Why, Jimmy? Why do you live life in such cryptic terms?
I'm not trying to be cryptic. I'm just saying I don't think that maybe necessarily I came across with the way that I needed to convey that message. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that
if you talk to this woman any way like you talk to me right now, the failure of communication of the nature of the meeting is 100% on you.
You know what? I think that you might be right there, because I think maybe I was a little bit too busy. Maybe
because the way you say I met this human being and we had an interaction at Rainforest Cafe. What does that fucking mean, dude?
I mean, I think it means exactly.
You could have no.
What afterwards?
You could have. Here's what you could have. You could have said, I met a woman and I asked her on a date to the Rainforest Cafe, and we went together to the Rainforest Cafe. Saying we had an interaction at the Rainforest Cafe, that could mean 1,000 different things.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay. Am I being reasonable right now?
No. I think you're putting things in a way that I hadn't necessarily thought about them before.
Okay.
Because I think that may have been one of my issues, is that I was coming off a bit. See, my thing is that I don't want to come off a bit too strong. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm always a little bit too nervous to be like a little bit too just like, hey yo, what you doing? What you up to right now? And I just didn't want to come off with that type of vibe. I wanted to make it very friendly, very cordial, very
okay.
A chill type time.
All right, here, I'm sorry. You know what, Jimmy? We got off on the wrong foot here. So, let's start with this. How did you meet this woman initially?
So we both are in the same F1 historical card collecting community, believe it or not.
Off to a phenomenal start.
Yeah. We both collect rare vintage Panini F1 cards of people like Juan Manuel Fangio, Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, everything like that.
Oh, you got Michael Schumacher.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
of course,
that's
I got
amazing.
them all.
That's amazing. I don't know who that is, but that's cool. What, all right, so you met her at this F1 card collecting thing, and this is an in-person group?
So this is an online thing. We just kind of noticed that we both had a very similar collection, and we both, it's not too often that you find, first of all, even Americans that like F1 at all. It's a very rare thing. So when I found a woman, I was like, let's just make a casual conversation here. But see, that's the thing, is like, she's also a woman in the F1 card collecting community. There aren't a lot of those. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's a whole lot of dudes.
Okay. Right? So you met her. You meet her on Discord, and does she live in the same vicinity as you?
She lives within like a 6-hour drive, I would say.
All right, and so you met up at the. Well, how did you phrase this? Were you like, let's hang out at the Rainforest Cafe?
Well, it was kind of we were all at the same spot at the same time type deal, so it kind of worked out like that.
Was this just you and her, or you went with a group of people?
No.
What did you say?
It was just me and her, just the two of us.
All right. Okay.
It was kind of one of those, like, our paths were kind of crossing at the same time. She was going this way, I was kind of going that way, and we were like, hey, look at how this is matched up. Kind of a fantastic situation.
I feel like all right. You're at Rainforest Cafe with this woman, and are you sensing that she might like you? Is this what's up?
I think it was hard to tell because, I mean, I could definitely get the sense that she didn't not like me. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, it was definitely clear that, like, this person did not hate my vibes.
Uh-huh.
But I also couldn't tell if they were just like, hey, yo, this is a cool person, or like, hey, yo, I'm trying to, like, see what this person looks like shirtless. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. No, it's hard. It is hard. It's, you know it's hard because, no, I understand that. I understand, like, you know, that in your brain, you're like, she's the only woman in an all male-dominated thing. She probably gets hit on all the time, but, like, what if she actually does like me, but also I don't want to, you know, be just another fucking guy hitting on her if I do. I understand the back and forth of the brain in this situation.
Yeah.
Now, as far as what to do about it, I don't know. I want to say to just be honest and be like, you know, hey, I like you. It's totally, we can still be friends, you know, even if you don't like me like that, it's totally cool. But I just thought I'd be honest. I'd put it out there, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
See, that's what I'm thinking of doing too, because, like, I want to shoot the shot. I'm very much the type of person who believes in shooting your shot, but also, like, I don't want to make things weird afterwards. But that would be the, you know what I mean? Because I know I can be, like, cool about it, and I'll just be like, whatever, it's cool if it don't land. But I'm just saying, I don't want to be weird about it. You know what I mean? Because I know that there's a whole lot of dudes out there in the F1 card collecting community. They got cooler cards than me, and they can shoot their shot at any time. So I'm just saying, I want to make sure that, like, I kind of protect myself here, but I also understand that, like, there's a whole bunch of other dudes who are trying to do the same thing, and I'm not trying to look like I'm not, like, trying to look like I'm not trying to look like every other dude. You know what I'm saying?
So you're afraid that some guy with, you know, even cooler F1 cards will swoop in?
Dude, I know. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Even cooler ones. That could be the real downfall.
I don't know. My gut feeling was telling me that, you know, there's a way to go about this that is like, hey, throwing this vibe out here. If there's no interest, totally fine. No worries. We can still we're not gonna make it weird. We can still be friends. We can still hang out in the community. It's not gonna be a whole fucking thing, you know. It's chill.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You know, I think I might do that. I think I might
go
just
for
shoot the shot. I might do it right after I hang up with you here today, and then I'll let you know how it goes in the future.
Yeah, go ahead. Why is I see F1 all over it's racing, right?
Yeah, you know, like the little cars, they go vroom vroom.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, you ever been to a race before?
No, it sounds horribly boring.
Nah, it's awesome, my friend. I will tell you what. You ever get the chance in one of your travels to just come across an auto race, just maybe sneak in there for a second. They might even let you into the car.
No, they're not. I don't like doing, like, I'm not interested in thrills, you know what I mean? Like, I have no interest in, you know, skydiving or race car driving or bungee jumping. I'm not a big thrill guy. I don't want to, you know, life is too precious.
I understand. Sometimes you got to live a little bit on the edge, you know. That's sometimes how, like, that's how I find the greatest pleasures in life is when you just get a little bit too close to that danger, and then you say, "Okay, here we go, baby."
So then I say to you, Jimmy, live a little bit on the edge and ask this girl out, and don't just use real words. Don't say I would like to have an interaction with you. You know.
You don't want me to speak in like a poem like I did earlier?
No, don't ever do that to anyone ever again.
All right, I will only use at the most 3 haikus, I promise.
What did you get at Rainforest Cafe? I'm curious. Did you get the volcano where they bring it out and they yell volcano?
No, I didn't get the volcano. I got this, like, chicken gumbo thing. I don't know why I made it. It was a bad decision. Underwhelming, to say the least. Dude,
I haven't been to Rainforest Cafe. I'm gonna go. I haven't been to Rainforest Cafe since being an adult that could actually pay for the meal himself. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get some shit.
Dude, it's an experience. I
I'm
would definitely recommend, if you can go to one. Don't maybe. So I went to the one in the Atlantic City like a couple weeks ago, and I got to admit, the whole boardwalk just looks awful right now. So maybe don't go to that one. That one's not the best.
I'm not gonna show up in the Gecko suit, or else people will think I work there and ask me where the bathroom is. Take care, Jimmy. Geck bless you, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night.
Now I'm hungry for Rainforest Cafe.
Therapy Gecko's on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Gecko's doing it right, he's teaching you how to live your life, but he's not really